Hey, Sean here. I wanted to quickly go over how to upload or create products and create collections. I'm just going to give you a brief overview. I'm not going to go through and connect my Shopify store and actually start creating products. I'll show you how you can do it, and then I'll let you go through attempt. If you have any issues at all, I can go through and do more of a complete training. But I think with looking at the BB Max training and what I'm about to show you, you should be able to go through and bulk create whatever you need. There are a bunch of ways to use Google Sheets with the built-in AI function and different ways to create content and create products at scale. The problem is, it depends on what products you're trying to sell, how you're going to title them, if you can create. It depends. Like, I don't know enough about what you're trying to sell. So depending on what you're selling, we could approach building data a few different ways. But anyways, I'll briefly show you one way you can do this, and then we can go from there and kind of explore what's the best way to build out products for your use case. But knowing what you are selling would be helpful. Otherwise, it's sort of generic, and I don't really know exactly what you're selling. But reach out to me, and maybe provide me a link to your store, or you can send me a link to a different store and a similar product, and explain what you're trying to do and build out in bulk. And then I can provide some instructions on how you do it. There are 3 sheets you can do this with: BB Max, Neuron, and Surfer, the Max sheets. I'm going to demo in BB Max, but it's all the same for the Max sheets. And so what we'll do is we're going to create the sheet. And if you look over here on the right, we have our sidebar that's appeared. And at the very bottom, you'll see in step 6, and I'll slide over to the right, you'll notice that you have a place to hook up your Shopify details. And so what you'll do is you'll expand step 6 when you're at that step, and you'll notice under Shopify, you can create a few different page types. We have blog articles, we have pages, we have products and collections. The other thing too is in column AA, you'll notice that we can add tags for both Shopify or WooCommerce. How this has been built and what we've discussed with other users is that, by using tags, you can automate creating a collection, add tags to that collection, add those same tags to your products, and then things will be associated. That makes it way easier and more flexible than manually trying to assign products across a bunch of collections, like just focusing on the collections themselves. If you use tags, it's a much more flexible system. That's what we've built for you. And then if you go a little bit further to the right, you'll notice at the very end, I've got some extra things for the e-commerce stuff. So you'll notice in AF, you can set some pricing here, and you can actually add your product URL. So if you've got your product already loaded onto your site, or you've got it available, you would add in your product URL here, and that would help assign it as your product. But you may end up, once you create the page, you may need to go in and actually add your products. Shopify historically has made it not as easy to upload images into products. So anyways, we can mess around with that. We'll explore that, see how it goes. But definitely watch the BB Max training on how to use this sheet. I think it would be very, very helpful. The other thing is watch the training for hooking up Shopify. You will need to create a custom app. But once you have this hooked up, it's pretty smooth sailing. So my example is maybe I've got a red office chair and I want to sell a bunch of different colors. And because I want to do SEO and I want to sell in different colors and optimize, like for example, if people are typing in red computer chair, I want to show up underneath a red computer chair. And you can do this through collections, and you can also build this as individual chairs. And let's say I've got a whole bunch of colors. I've got blue and green and a whole bunch of them, and I want to scale this out a little bit easier, right? So you can do this, like I have red computer chair, maybe I have a green one, a blue one, and so on. So what I can do is I can get the sheet to do that using the task tag system, which is kind of nice. The other way is you just manually type out all of your keywords here, right? So you would type in like red computer chair, and then the next one you say blue and green and so on. So you'd have to type all this out. You can try to get the task tag to work for you. So here we have red computer chair, and then in here I said task equals create a list of different color chairs using this pattern, and this is the pattern that I want to use. So I'm trying to guide the AI to create this. So let's see what happens. I'm going to give it a 10 count just to give enough options. I may not need them all, so I'm going to go ahead and generate a bunch. And so what you'll do is you'll come to step one, because we're in step one. And again, the BBMax training does cover all of this stuff. And then here, the first option, content ideas. So if I click here, it's going to generate a list of related keywords. But because I use this task tag, check this out. We've got green computer chair, black, white, pink, yellow. I mean, these are all the colors, and it uses the same pattern. So very cool stuff. Because it's e-commerce, I don't need this many headers. You probably only want to go with maybe 2 subheaders. You'll have a title, and then you'll have 2 subheaders. You may still need to go through and optimize these. After you build the pages, you probably still will want to go in and do some light editing just for conversion rate optimization, but you can do a lot in the sheet as well. So anyways, that's all here. Let's say you have a brand, we could bulk add this and we can make up a brand. Let's see. And this is where it gets tricky. Like, I don't know enough about you and what you're selling. So there's a bunch of different ways to approach this. But I do think that this could work in general. So let's say this is kind of a good trick here. So in F2, I will say mention the brand, let's say, easy chair that offers, computer chairs that are extra comfortable, and that's fine. I think that's good. So once you have this here, you can apply this in bulk to everything. So I got a quick little thing here. So if you click, out of this cell, you want to unlock it, and then go over to task tag and click here. It'll just apply it to everything. And you'll notice the task tag now is on everything, right? So when we start to create the content over here, all the SEO data, it's going to help produce that for us. Actually, I'm going to go one step back, and I'm going to say focus on creating data for this computer chair product. Focus on creating, focus on, I'm going to say focus on selling this computer chair product. And let's apply that in bulk. So that way we're saying, okay, let's focus on adding this brand. We're going to sell a product. And when that content, all this gets created, we're basically creating stuff focused on selling this product. We could go one step further and say this is for a product page. There is some kind of testing, and you can kind of mess around with this prompt injection. But anyways, that's it. So once you have all this set up, you've got all these different chairs. We can start scaling out these products into across the sheet and into our site. So at this point, what you would do is just start running the tool. So what I do is I like to come back and set this to true. And that way we have these task tags that will be automatically added to the headers. And then the other thing too is I've recently launched this knowledge documents or place for knowledge. So you could type in your brand information here. You could bring in information specifically about the chair itself. I would need to know what you're selling to put in here. But let's say, let's go pick a random chair. So Target has some chairs. Let's see what they got. Let's see this one right here. And let's see, here's some highlights. So all of this stuff is maybe things that our chair does, right? I want to do these right here. We could actually take all of this. So if you are selling a product that's very, very similar, or there's things about your brand or your company or about the product, however you're getting it, you can create a master document here, and you can either paste all this into the cell like this, and you just got to resize it. The other way to do it is to create a Google Doc. So what we can do, and we have a nice thing coming here soon where you can click a button and it'll automatically create all this for you. I'm releasing that probably in about a week here. So, but Google Docs, and let's create a new doc. And here, I believe the best way to do this is to have this shared. Let's see, skip. Let's go ahead and we'll just open this up. That way, if you have other people that want to add information, you can. Let's see, this is going to be, got it. I want to rename this. So office chair. And then we'll paste in our details. That's actually, I'm going to go ahead and we'll put in our URL here. So this is to the new Google Doc that we created. And then all this stuff from Target, I really like all this stuff. I'm going to use it in my own. I think it fits for mine. You can go through and you can edit. As long as you have details that are really similar to the thing you're selling, I think this could totally work. But yeah, let's see. And then we could say brand name is, and what was the brand name that we used? Let's see, Easy Chair. So we'll just take that and we'll add it to our into our document. That's it. So we've got the brand name is Easy Chair. We've got details about it. Now you don't have to do this. This is just to give more data or information to the writer. And that way, when it's developing your SEO data and your products at scale, it's going to use all of this information. And that's it. So at this point, I would just start running the tooling. So I would go to step 2. And you can see here I have a link to automatically create the knowledge doc. This is coming. This is something I'm developing. So you'd click this and it would automatically do what I did manually for you. So that's coming. But then you would just click here, create the blog data, and it will create all this for you. You'd go to step 3 and you have the ability to pick different styles, which is kind of fun. You could do sales or product or informational or technical. I got some humor ones here. You can also create your own. So you can create a style sheet and you can edit these styles and then pick your own. Once you create your style, you do need to refresh this, which means just you go to the menu, go to your content sheet, hit BB Max. It'll just refresh the menu, and that way you can pick the one you want. And then you can run the build articles, which is really just building content. I think I need to rename these to build content, but you just run the article, and it will build out all of the content for you for your product. These you don't have to link together, so you could skip this part. You do have the ability to add images if you want, so you can bring in your own images. You can try AI images. I think for product, it's a little bit more challenging, but if you already have URLs for these products, which you may already have, you can add the URLs here to column T and U, and that'll go right into the body. And then from there, the last step is once you have your Shopify details here, you just need to put a true here, and that will push it over as a draft. If you want it to go live immediately, you just need to put true here. You can add tags here, so chair, office. If you had red, you could have that all here, and then let's see, come on over. You can give your pricing if you wanted. So if it was like, $159.99, you could set your price, or you could set it as 0, and you could bulk apply all your prices right in Shopify. And then here you can add a URL to the product image as well. And then that's it. From here, you would just slide on down to step 6, and you would pick product. If you were building out collections, you could click on create collections. And, I think if you're going to build out a bunch of collection pages, like if all of these were, say, collections, you could leave a lot of the data in place, like your tags, and you could reuse these, and then build your products and assign everything at scale. So I think there's a couple ways to approach this, but this is what we have set up for everyone to generate content and build out products at scale. So like I said, it really depends on the product you're selling. And from there, we come up with a plan of how to create all of your content. And it really, you want to use these task tags to help guide the system, right? Like these are really important. So I would definitely watch the BB Max training on these task tags specifically, but use these to help guide this flow to get the content in place for your products. And then from there, you can scale out. I personally, when I worked for an engineering company, was able to use this Google Sheet, and I created like 300 products, and it took a couple days. It took us about 2 to 3 days because there was a lot of technical things that needed to come into the task tag and into the sheet so that we could get everything in place. And then went through and did some light editing, got the URLs in place, and then pushed everything over at scale into Shopify. And then once I was in Shopify, I did have to do a little bit of editing. I used their bulk editing tool to kind of massage and get everything in place. But at least I was able to create 300 pages with a lot of really good text in place that I could start then executing against ads and push out for SEO as well. And then once you have all of this out there, if you want to edit them further or maybe you have existing products you want to edit, that's where you get into this e-commerce products sheet. This is to kind of edit existing products that you have for Shopify and WooCommerce. So this will open up here, and here we have e-commerce products. And so this would allow us to download all of your products and be able to optimize content, right? So we could optimize the descriptions and so on. And there's specific training on this. I don't plan on creating a full product management system and syncing system. Like, that's very complicated. It's going to be very cumbersome to do that through a Google Sheet. It is possible to do, but it is kind of beyond the scope of me providing a content tool for you and being able to scale out products that you can rapidly get into testing. Like, I don't want to get into product management as much as product creation and content. This will do that. This will allow you to test and scale out very rapidly. And then you can go in and do some light editing directly in your e-commerce system. Anyways, that's the overview. Like I said, it probably depends on the products. We have different people selling different things, so they approach how they can get the data in place in here in a few different ways. So if you're confused at how to do this best, feel free to send me a link to your store. Feel free to send me a link to another product, and just let me know what you're trying to accomplish, and I can guide you through some steps. I can even produce another video and show you exactly how to do it. So this recording is fairly short, and it's already 20 minutes. So without diving in further, what I would recommend at this point is watch the Shopify video for connecting Shopify to Google Sheet. It's pretty easy. You just have to create your tokens and your API access. I would recommend watching the BBMax training, and that will be very helpful for you to understand how this sheet works at scale. And then there's some little tricks we can do to kind of dive into product development. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this demo. If we need to go through and do a longer one on products and you want to see a specific product, let me know. Happy to do another demo to show how that works. All right, cheers.